In this episode of Prison Pen Pals, we're going to be looking at letters sent from Jeffrey Dahmer to his pen pal, who, to keep anonymous, we're going to call Anne. Dahmer letters are very rare, and I've not seen many on the market, and they can cost thousands of pounds. So I want to say thank you to Cult Collectibles and 219 Tavern for allowing me to show these letters to you. You can find Cult Collectibles on Instagram, and this guy is selling so many unique items that you are not going to find anywhere else. Literally every week he's got batches of new insane items. And 219 Tavern is for people who want to know more about Dahmer. This Instagram page is dedicated to exploring the crimes and life of Jeffrey Dahmer, and there is knowledge here you won't find anywhere else. For those of you who don't know who Dahmer is, what a lovely little sheltered life you've lived. I bet you weren't even smacked as a child. By most accounts, Dahmer had a normal childhood, but he became withdrawn as he got older. He had little to no interest in hobbies or social interaction, turning instead to dissecting animal carcasses and heavy drinking for entertainment. The first letter was sent on the 31st of May 1993.
Dear Anne, hi, how are you today? Feeling well and enjoying the nice summer weather, I hope. Wow, that sure was a great letter that you wrote. I really don't see how you can write so many pages at one time. If I write one page, I start to get writer's cramp. Anyway, my handwriting stinks. That's why I want to get a typewriter that I've seen in the Access Prison catalog. Then it would be fun to write and learn how to type at the same time.
Dahmer's blatantly hinting here. After a quick Google search, the Access Prison catalogue is still going, and it looks like you can send all sorts of items to inmates.
I don't know if I told you this, but I have a job in the prison gym. I start at 7 a.m. and finish at 11 a.m. It's not the best job, but it does keep me busy for a few hours. I'll never be able to afford it.
Even underlining the word never, he's really laying it on thick.
It's a great looking typewriter, electric, and does not take up too much space. The prison does not allow any stamps, envelopes, papers, or books to be sent in. I would have never thought that I would want to learn how to type, but everything is so boring and routine around here that any diversion is welcome. Already, my hand is giving me trouble. I don't know why it does that.
I've seen other letters written by Dahmer to different pen pals, but I don't have the permission to show you. But he's doing the same thing. He's asking for money for a typewriter. I know he didn't write to a lot of people, but for those who he did, I suppose he had to lean on them.
And I'll never ask for anything again. But all I need to get that typewriter is a $50 check or money order. I don't want you to think of me as a leech.
Cannibal serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, worried about coming across as a bit of a leech.
But would you be willing to help me with this? My earnings are $25 a month, and that hardly covers the cost of cigarettes around here. Well, Anne, stay well and enjoy the summer. Sincerely, Jeff.
If you were writing to inmates, would you ever send them money? Also, if you want to write to inmates like I do, then use the service I use. It's called Jmail. It's fast and it's secure, and it means you don't have to use your home address. I'll leave a link to their services in the description below. Just go check out the website. And while we're here, please like the video and subscribe if you're new. He's 18 when he kills his first victim. His parents get a divorce and they leave him in the family home, alone for a summer. His desires have morphed and dark thoughts have been brewing, and now is the time to act. He picked up a hitchhiker named Stephen Hicks and offered to take him back to his father's house to drink beer. But when Hicks decided to leave, Dahmer hit him in the back of the head with a 10-pound dumbbell. Dahmer dissected, dissolved and pulverized his body, then scattered the remains throughout his backyard. He later admitted killing him simply because he wanted Hicks to stay. 9 years would pass before he killed again. Warning signs were there by 1985. He was going to gay bathhouses where he would drug men and rape them as they lay unconscious. The next letter was sent on the 11th of October 1993.
Dear Anne. Hi Anne, how are you doing today? Thank you very much for the nice letter, postcard, and $55 gift. My account was getting real low, so your gift helped me a lot. Things are getting back to normal around here. My hand is starting to feel better.
First of all, he's obviously got his typewriter, which is a shame because the letters lose so much character. Just looking at handwriting says so much more. I'm really not a fan of when people type letters.
I just want to tell you, Anne, that I appreciate you very, very much. Your letters and concern mean a lot to me. Now, I didn't know what to think when I read that you were going on vacation with someone, but I'm glad you had a good sense of humor about things. Everyone needs that. The way I see it, a nice person like you should have all the fun things they can.
Is there potentially some kind of love fling between the two? It would explain why Anne sent him money. Otherwise, why does he mention not knowing what to think when she talks about going away with somebody else? Stephen Toomey was his second victim, killed in September 1987. He then claims to have blacked out, waking up the next morning to find Stephen's dead body laying next to him. The killings occurred sporadically after Toomey. He continued to lure unsuspecting men from bars or solicited prostitutes. Dahmer's desires have again become even more disturbing, spending time with their corpses, continuing to use the bodies for intercourse, taking photographs of the dismemberment process, preserving with scientific precision his victims' skulls and genitals for display, and even eating parts of them.
I've always liked the ocean. When I was living in Florida, I was living right near the beach in Miami. Every morning there would be hundreds of purple jellyfish washed up on the shore. People would walk along and pop them like balloons that would have dried up in the sun. Anyway,
This is quite the revealing memory to share. I mean, most people reminiscing about living in Miami next to the beach would have some kind of happy memories, not killing animals and then defending it because they were gonna die anyway. It shows where his mind wanders to.
I remember when I was working in a restaurant down there that one morning I opened the back door to take out the trash and found a dead body right there next to the dumpster. He was a homeless man that had lived in the electrical outlet box right next to the building. The lack of food and heat must have got to him. Just think of it, living right next to all that food and drink, and he starved to death.
So now he's spoken about two memories of when he worked in a bar next to a beach in Miami, and they both involved death. I also wonder what he did when he found the body. He'd already killed somebody by this point, so when somebody like Dahmer finds a body, does he alert the authorities like everyone else, or does he do something more sinister?
And don't bother getting me anything for Christmas. I'm not allowed to have much property, and they probably wouldn't let me keep anything. What special thing do you want for Christmas? Sincerely, your friend, Jeff.
I feel like he's always pulling at the heartstrings in these letters. Very manipulative behaviour. I'm not allowed much, but what do you want? Yeah, right, Jeff. By the summer of 1991, Dahmer was killing one person a week. He became infatuated with the idea that he could turn his victims into zombies to act as sex slaves. He used many different techniques, such as drilling holes into their skull and injecting acid or boiling water into their brains. Brutal. Neighbours began to complain about the strange noises and smells coming from Dahmer's apartment.
My dearest Anne. Hello, my beautiful one. How are you? Thanks a lot for those lovely poems that you've been sending me. I like them all. I hope that you're enjoying reading the magazine that I sent. I found them to be interesting. Also, thanks for offering to send me $50 each month. That's very kind of you. But, now that you're looking for work, I don't want you to cut yourself short. I hope that you find something you like soon. I do have a small amount in my account, so don't feel that you need to send me anything. But thanks anyway.
This must be a love interest. By the way, he says, "Hello, beautiful," but he was never sexually interested in women. They could just be friends, but the fact that she's sending him poetry as well. Altogether, it makes me feel like there's more going on. But at the same time, I feel like Jeffrey is probably manipulating this woman for money.
I did enclose an order form for a book that I thought sounded interesting. It's called To Hell and Back. Do you think you could order it for me? Then, when I'm finished reading it, I could mail it out to you if you'd like to read it. What do you think?
So again, he's saying I don't want your money while you're struggling yourself, but I don't have a lot of money either, and here's a book I want. Can you buy it for me?
About that article you read. I have 1 or 2 art books, but I'm not all that interested in the subject. I really like that Lessons on the Puffins. I think that they are pretty neat too. I enjoy listening to classical music, but I don't have any tapes of whales. Yes, I think that you and your son would enjoy a visit to Chicago Aquarium. I've always liked fish. You are right. I am very depressed. So I don't have many interests these days. I really am not able to open up new worlds for anyone because mine has just completely collapsed in on itself. Sorry.
When he says he's depressed and he doesn't have any interest these days, did he really ever have any? Why is Anne talking to him about whale noise tapes and going to the aquarium? I think this woman has forgotten, or rather ignoring, who she is talking to. But it's not possible. Jeffrey spent his youth wondering what the inside of his neighbour's dog looked like. He simply doesn't care about the day-to-day things that we do. On July 22nd, 1991, Dahmer lured Tracy Edwards into his home with the promise of cash in exchange for his company. While inside, Edwards was then forced into the bathroom by Dahmer with a butcher knife. During the struggle, Edwards was able to get free and escape into the streets, where he flagged down a police car. When the police arrived at Dahmer's apartment, Edwards showed them the knife that was in the bedroom. Police found the Polaroids of dead bodies and dismembered limbs. They arrested Dahmer immediately. A total of 7 skulls were found in his apartment. Bizarrely, an altar was also constructed with candles and human skulls in his closet. After being taken into custody, Dahmer confessed and began divulging the gruesome details of his crimes to authorities.
Well, Anne, that sounds like a great way to wake up to me too. I hope that all your days are bright and filled with good things and much joy. Take good care of yourself for me too. All my love, Jeff.
I'm curious as to what their relationship really was. Was it a woman looking for attention in all the wrong places, a homosexual serial killer? Or did they really have a connection? Was he even capable of this? It doesn't really sound like he bonded with her as much as she did with him.
P.S. There is a fat little chipmunk that has his hole in front of my window. He comes out every day and eats the clover flowers, and he's out there right now. It's fun to watch him. There are a lot of dandelions too, but he never eats any of them. I wonder why.
Very cute, Jeff. Are you faking some humanity here? Did you want to cut the chipmunk open to see how it worked? Or were you really admiring the beauty of nature? I guess we'll never know. That's it for this episode of Prison Pen Pals. Until next time, stay sane.